On today's episode of the All Effin' Wrestling Show, we're going to talk about the news. We're going to talk about Joke of the Week, and then we're going to talk about the 35th edition of the Royal Rumble. All this and more on the All Effin' Wrestling Show.
Coming to you live from the Effin' Worldwide Media Studios, located in parts unknown.
It's the All Effin' Wrestling Show.
With your hosts, Canada Dry, in the JFB.
Tell me how it's priced. Tell me if the item is for sale. And tell me.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of the All Effin' Wrestling Show, Season 3, Episode 5. We're going to talk about WWE. Are you shocked? Are you surprised? You shouldn't be. It's big news, damn it. I am, of course, one of your co-hosts. We are the Rolling Stones, if you will, of the wrestling podcast sphere of awesomeness. I am the JFB, James from Boston.
And I am the Green Lantern of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry.
I love his intros. I love them. We are, of course, joined. We can't talk about the Rumble unless we have the final four participants in the All Effin' Wrestling Show Royal Rumble. We have Dr. Brad Campbell. Say hi to everybody.
It's Dr. Brad Campbell, Farm D, for those of you who don't know me. But some of y'all may refer to me as the Doc, always willing to engage in wrestling talk and bringing you some hard fucking rock.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And we are, of course, joined by...
And I always, to me, you're always known as Dr. AFW. I'm always going to call you Dr. AFW. So
well,
get
you
used
know,
to it.
we'll claim that as well, Dr. AFW. It's a proud title.
Damn right it is.
I hold it with pride.
And, of course, we are joined by the Lord, if you will, the Lord of Indianapolis, the Lord of AFW. We're talking about the limitless champion, Rich Southwood. Say hi.
What's up, everyone? I'm coming to you from the AFW official man cave deep down in the belly of AFW headquarters. I am the Perfection King, Lord Rich Southwood.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Real quick, Rich, do you live in Indianapolis?
From Indy. I do not currently live there. I know a bunch of our brothers do live in Indy.
Okay, because I'm in Greenwood.
I graduated from Perry Meridian High School.
Nice. Okay.
I used to live on Meridian at Southport.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting all nice and warm and cuddly over here. I love it.
It's definitely family over here in AFW. Everybody come on down. It's nice and warm and cozy in here.
We got hot chocolate.
We got a nice and toasty in the man cave with refreshments.
Yes.
And ready to talk wrestling.
So let's get into, of course, the news. From the four corners of the globe, from our studios to your home, this is FNN, the Effin' News Network, starring Canada Dry and the JFB. Good morning. How is everybody out there in TV land? The All Effin' Wrestling Show loves our drinks. And let's get to the news.
Cheers, cheers.
Yeah, cheers to everybody.
Chin chin.
Chin chin. Before we get to the news, though, Canada Dry, shotgun that beer, shotgun that coffee. Give us the fact of the day.
Okay, because I got nothing right now. I don't know. So hopefully this helps something come into my brain and
Come on,
give me
coffee.
some knowledge.
It hit immediately.
Okay. I got something. Did you know that the country of Australia is actually wider than the moon?
I did not know that.
I did not know that.
It is actually wider than the moon.
Interesting.
Axe.
Knowledge is power.
Did you know that?
That's a different
Well, now
show.
you know.
All right, so let's get into the news really quickly. Nikita Lyons from NXT is going to be out with undetermined time with a torn ACL and a torn meniscus. Hulk Hogan back in tweeting news. Hulk Hogan tweeted what was supposed to be a private tweet, basically begging someone to come give him toilet paper in the bathroom. He quickly realized his error. He deleted it, but there's a thing called the Internet Wayback Machine, which records the internet history, and someone found it and posted it, and it ran ramshot throughout the entire Twitter sphere, if you will say. Britt Baker has a slight injury. It's undisclosed. She will be out for not too long, maybe a couple more weeks. And big news in WWE.
Can I just this Hulk Hogan thing for 1 second?
Yeah, go right ahead.
1 second. So, why are you tweeting? If there's a thing called a phone where you can text people, like I'm sure he has someone that he can text that will bring him toilet paper. Why is he on Twitter doing this? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I'm sure in the Hulk Hogan mansion, there's dead spots in those areas. So yelling won't help, like, I need some toilet paper, brother. I'm sure there's dead spots, but, he was able to fire off a quick twit message, private message to someone to alleviate his toilet paper problem. Big news in WWE. Stephanie McMahon is no longer the co-CEO. She has stepped down. Nick Khan is now the lone ranger of the CEO. JFB, is it true you are Impact Wrestling's Mike Jackson's dad? I can neither confirm nor deny, Mr. Haney, as to who my offspring are. I cannot confirm nor deny. So Stephanie McMahon is no longer there. Rumor has it that there are several people backstage that were very upset that she did step down. She did contribute it to her father coming back as being the new chairman of the board, the executive chairman of the board, bringing in several people that were also dismissed. And of course, Nick Khan stands there, which means, do we think possibly that Vince McMahon is controlling Nick Khan like a puppet master in order to do booking and facilitating and all that other stuff? Canada Dry?
Well, I do. I think that that's the reason why Nick Khan was chosen, because he's a loyal buffoon.
Yeah.
And that's what Vince McMahon likes. Can I count on you, brother? But I think that Vince is slowly going to creep his way like a virus into everything WWE again.
Yeah. I agree with that. Dr. Brad, your thoughts?
I think that nothing in this world will keep Vince McMahon from doing something to fuck up that company. We can all agree that, Vince McMahon is responsible for giving us a wealth of childhood memories that we will forever cherish and adore and pass on to the next generation of wrestling fans. But in recent years, we've seen what some of the creative content that's come out. They say he's not going to be involved in creative. I have a really hard time believing that.
Yeah. I
Um,
do too. Rich.
nothing will stop Vince McMahon from writing a bad show.
Oh, no. Unless he's incarcerated. And even then, he's going to be like a mafia boss and is going to control the family from inside the cell. So, Rich, what are your thoughts?
Well, you know what one of the major problems with Vince was the creators were scared shitless to write
Yeah.
something, and then they have to rewrite it, and that was the big problem. Is like you can't work under those fearful conditions because you're Vince worthy.
Rich, what are your thoughts about this?
Honestly, it just brings me back to right when everything happened to CM Punk's comments, and he was like, "You really think Vince is gone?" I don't think so, and it turned out to be true. I do think Vince will weasel his way back in any way that he can. That's who he is as a person.
Yeah, absolutely. Triple H is just like Vince McMahon. Triple H is pretty high on Austin Theory and has quoted as saying that he could very well be the next John Cena. He's got the charisma, he's got the athleticism. He could be very much the next John Cena. So, in our version of buy and sell, do we buy this or are we going to sell it? Canada Dry, you go first. Buy or sell Austin Theory being the next John Cena.
Can I rent it?
You can lease it. You can lease it.
No, I'm buying this because Austin Theory, no matter what they gave him, he turned it into gold. I really like Austin Theory. I like him as a heel, especially. So, I think he's got the goods.
Okay, Dr. Brad, buy or sell?
I'll buy him as a future star and main event talent, but next John Cena, I don't know if he's quite there yet. I think, like Aaron said, he's a great heel. He has the most punchable face in the world. I'm sorry. But every time I see that stupid smile with those selfies, I just want to take those pictures and light them on fire because they make me cringe like nails scratching a chalkboard. I cannot stand it.
Yeah.
Regardless, future champion, yes. Next John Cena. Well, I don't even know if you can even really have another like John Cena. Just that good old boy that really was able to stay true to his character all those years without going heel. Austin Theory will be his own thing.
Yeah. Okay, Rich, you're buying or you selling?
Yeah, I sell.
Okay.
I don't. He's got the look, and I think he's got probably the move set, but John Cena was a generational talent. In the sense of like the marketing that they did for him and everything else that spawned from it. Like you don't see a lot of people jump from WWE into like superstardom in like it's been The Rock and Cena, you may be Batista. I mean, Hogan's done a few movies here and there, but you don't see people like that. So to say that it's the next John Cena, I don't see that.
Okay. I'm gonna
Let me just quickly comment on that Southwood. I think Theory could be better than Cena. He's got more moves. He's more talented as a wrestler than Cena. So if you with that charisma, if he gets booked right, he could surpass Cena.
Okay.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Anything's possible in the world of wrestling.
Okay. Devon Dudley says he is cleared by medical and is ready to go back in the ring sometime soon with who we don't know. Kenny Omega has been off of AEW TV for the last couple weeks. Reason why? Visa issues. That's why I always carry MasterCard, so I don't run into visa issues. Wardlow's been off of TV as well because of an undisclosed injury. Vince is back, normal working hours in Stamford, Connecticut. Here's a good one. MLW has sent the WWE a cease and desist order for WWE after going after actual contracted wrestlers in MLW. This reeks of Vince McMahon, no doubt about it. Southwood, your thoughts really quickly.
Yeah, it sounds like a Vince move or someone that is one of Vince's yes men. Obviously he probably didn't do it directly, so he didn't get his hands dirty, but the directive came from Vince, and that's against the law. You can't tamper with contracts, so kind of a shady thing to do.
Yeah, Dr. Brad.
Yeah, there's no questions coming from Vince. Think like Bret Hart once said, he's just a snake in the grass.
Yeah, absolutely. Can to dry.
I'm wondering why it's only a cease and desist order. Like, can't you get some money out of this deal?
Oh yeah, you can go for tampering charges. Absolutely, 100%.
I think they should, because have WWE fund some of their talent.
Yeah, there you go. And our last bit of news today, we have a lot of fun at Hogan's expense. Obviously, the toilet paper joke, so Hulk Hogan a couple months ago had back surgery. This is something he's had for pretty much his entire career, has been back and hip issues. He says that he blames it on the leg drop and he wish he went with a different move. Well, when he underwent back surgery a couple months ago. There was a cut in one of his nerves, and now he can't feel his legs. The only way he can walk with any assistance is with a cane. Also, we didn't see the cane at Raw 30, but when he was backstage, Kurt Angle talked about it on his podcast. It's sad to see your guys that you looked up to once, going through this. This is the reason why they need a union, and this is the reason why they need healthcare, and it's a real shame. So that is our news.
Can I just say something real quick, JFB?
Yeah,
what I feel for Hogan right now is similar to what I feel every time I look at Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah.
It's that feeling of overwhelming sadness.
Yeah.
Like that, the thing that they love has taken them to this point in their life, and everything else that came along with it. Like for Jake the Snake, it was battling the demons of the bottle and everything else. So it is sad to see people that you looked up to, that you thought were bigger than life, kind of brought back down a peg. It's sad to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
All right, let's get to our joke of the week, brought to you, of course, by one of our greatest sponsors ever. It's Saber! Unleash the power of the pyramid. Saber 2.0, Pyramid 2.0. Think different. Think Sabre. All right, so we're going to go to our joke of the week, and our joke of the week is going to come.
It's time to come home.
It's time to come home.
It's time to come home.
Yeah, joke of the week is going to be.
Come on home.
Yeah, come home. Come here. Joke of the week is going to be Liam Wakeland, one of our hosts on Wrestling with the Paranormal and the Magic of Wrestling. Here is the joke of the week.
And what's going to happen is, of course, the magician here with your joke of the week. So, my dog decided to join a Mexican wrestling cult. I guess he must have had that dream of being a luchador.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, that was classic. I love it. He's a luchador.
Nice. I smell a feud coming between the Puchador and Fruit Cat.
Oh, God. That would be hilarious. I'm still taking Fruit Cat.
Fruit Cat's got his revenge on is getting his revenge on Caleb this week. They got so look forward to that.
All right. So now we got our joke of the week out of the way. We got our news out of the way. It's time, of course, for the main event of the evening. Play it, interns. gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. All right, so last night on the premium live event, I hate that. We're going to call it a pay-per-view, damn it. We are in the beginning of one of my favorite.
May I interrupt you? This main event, of course, is brought to you by our sponsors.
Yeah.
Shave.
Yeah, backshaves.com. If you're curious, just go to backshaves.com. It will give you all the information. But we love our sponsors so much. Backshaves.com. I use it. It's a great product. It's just absolutely fabulous. Backshaves.com. So the Royal Rumble, 35th edition of the Royal Rumble was the pay-per-view last night. And so I decided, we're gonna talk about it. We generally don't really dive too deep into WWE wrestling for the most part, but this time we decided to cover the Royal Rumble because this was going to be a very unique Royal Rumble. It's 35th anniversary, the 35th version of it. So we're gonna go with the first match, and the opening match was actually the men's Royal Rumble, which was kind of a surprise. I was expecting maybe a warm up match or whatever, but no, we got the men's Royal Rumble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the lists of the competitors, who they were eliminated by, and then we'll go over the winner. So Gunther comes in number one, and then it's Sheamus coming in at number two. They lasted over an hour long. 3 is The Miz. He gets eliminated by Sheamus. Kofi Kingston comes in at number 4. He gets eliminated by Gunther. Number 5, Johnny Gargano. He gets eliminated by Balor and Dominic Mysterio. Number 6, Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods gets eliminated by Gunther. So number 7, Karrion Kross, who I thought was going to be a real big dark horse. Yes, Mikado, you were right. Salty Haney. So Karrion Kross comes in at number 7. I thought he was going to be a dark horse favorite. Instead, he gets eliminated by Drew McIntyre. Number 8 is Chad Gable. He gets eliminated by Brock Lesnar. Number 9, Drew McIntyre. He gets eliminated by Gunther. Escobar. Santos Escobar comes in at number 10. He's eliminated by Lesnar. Number 11 is Angelo Dawkins. He gets eliminated by Lesnar as well. Number 12 is Lesnar. He gets eliminated by Bobby Lashley, who came in at number 13. He was eliminated by Seth Rollins. Number 14 is Baron Corbin. He got eliminated by Seth freaking Rollins as well. Then we go to our number 15, Rollins. He gets eliminated by Logan Paul. We get Otis. Rey Mysterio at number 17, but Rey doesn't actually come out. We were wondering what was happening. Obviously, he was injured and couldn't participate. Dominic, Elias, Finn, Booker T at 21. Booker T walking out was a big surprise. It was even bigger because this was in San Antonio and not Houston, which is a good couple-hour drive away from San Antonio. Those two are not close to each other. We get Damian Priest. We get Montez Ford. We get Edge. We get Austin Theory at 25. Omos at 26, Strowman at 27, Ricochet at 28, 29, Logan Paul, and number 30, we're going to get Cody Rhodes coming in at the number 30 with a bullet. Here's my notes from this match. Pat McAfee, before the Royal Rumble even started, Pat McAfee is back, and Corey Graves hates it, which means I love it because I don't like Corey Graves at all. But holy cow, Pat McAfee is back. He got a big, huge standing ovation. The crowd popped. It was so freaking awesome. It was awesome that they started with Gunther and Sheamus. It was a great way to kind of tie that loose end together after their banger of a match. How many football fields do you guys think could take lengthwise? Because that ramp and that run to was just long as hell. It's like 3 football fields and a Canadian football field long. And they're an extra 10 yards longer than American football fields. New Day playing bongos on each other's butts, which was kind of weird. I didn't. We didn't. The one thing I missed from this is we didn't get how in hell did Kofi Kingston not get eliminated? We didn't get him on handstands or jumping in like the floor is lava. Like we didn't get that, and I missed that. I really enjoy that he does that. Lesnar and Gunther sizing each other up. I think we're going to get a WrestleMania moment. It's going to be Gunther versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania for the IC belt. That's just my feeling on it. Judgment Day eliminates Edge really quick. I thought that was really poor booking. But the schmoz on the ramp was pure gold. Beth Phoenix taking out Mommy. And that top rope crossbody block between Logan Paul and Ricochet was just violent as hell. The end result, of course, is our the man who's going to WrestleMania. He's going to headline WrestleMania against Roman Reigns. Is of course Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes in at number 30. Him and Gunther go at it. They just beat the living hell out of each other, and Cody gets the victory. Canada, you go first. Your thoughts on the men's Royal Rumble?
All right, so there's a couple weird things about this Rumble.
Yeah.
First off, it was only 29 men, which is like, you could have had Mysterio come out and later on and cost the elimination of his son, which would have been a cool little story there.
Yep.
Nope. Didn't come out later. We could have used that spot for someone else, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So I thought that was weird. I also loved that Logan Paul and Ricochet spot. Like, they could have been badly in a spot. Like, holy crap. That was probably the coolest move I've seen in WWE ever.
Yeah.
Like, I can't compare that to anything I've ever seen in WWE.
Yeah.
But do I want them to risk their lives like that? Bodies like that all the time? No, I don't.
Don't.
I hope that this is maybe depends who it is. The other thing, coming out at 30 made absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
If he was the surprise, yes. Surprise, yeah. Cody's back, number 30, holy crap. But they advertised it ahead of time. So maybe have him come out at 20.
Yeah.
And eliminate a few people. But that was a weird booking decision. But it was still a feel good moment to see Cody win the Rumble. And he's going to get that belt out of Roman Reigns, one of the belts. So I think it's the Rumble.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was, I would like to have seen him come out 14, 15, give him a good 35, 40 minutes. But when, you're dealing with an injury that he's just coming back, I don't think technically he was even fully medically cleared. And maybe that's the reason why they threw him in the 30. Dr. Brad, your thoughts on the men's Royal Rumble, the first match of the night?
I honestly love the men's Royal Rumble. From a pure wrestling standpoint, it was action packed. I can't complain about the talent that was involved. I mean, everyone that was involved in that Rumble had every right to be there in terms of the caliber of talent that was there. I kind of wished for some more surprise entrants. I think that for them to not have Rey Mysterio there, that was a missed opportunity. Not just from having someone different, but even they could have had him, cost his son getting eliminated. That would have been a cool moment. I think that Gunther was the MVP of the Rumble. He is incredible. Him and Sheamus are just they are the two workhorses of WWE. And they showed that last night. I think we all knew that Cody was going to win. I'm a huge Cody Rhodes fan. He's one of my favorite wrestlers out there today. So I popped when he won. I would have liked to have seen him enter earlier, like around like 21 or so.
Yeah.
We had a little bit more time, but I think that him and Gunther had an incredible back and forth.
Yeah.
At the end. So you still had a little bit of that underdog moment. Couple with the fact that, like you said, they could have had him at the end because he's not fully medically clear. It was still a great showing, and the Rumble did what it was supposed to do. So it was honestly, it may very well be my match of the night.
Okay. Rich Southwood, lay it on, brother. What did you think of the first match?
Yeah, so before I get started, I don't watch WWE. Like I haven't. This is the first WWE pay per view I've watched all the way through in over 20 years. So I come from it. For me, the reason why I wanted to watch it and then come on here was kind of as the casual fan, someone who doesn't watch all the time, to kind of give maybe a different perspective.
Yeah.
For someone who doesn't watch the product all the time. I thought I enjoyed the Royal Rumble all the way. It was pretty decent. Obviously, the spot between Logan Paul and Seth Rollins was, a Ricochet was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I do think that Logan Paul eliminating Rollins is going to lead to a phenomenal WrestleMania match between those two guys. And I am looking forward to seeing that because both of their athleticism together, I think they're going to put on a hell of a match.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's going to be a great WrestleMania moment.
Oh,
As far as Cody, I thought that he would come in earlier too. I didn't think that he would be the 30th. But as you guys are sitting here talking, I kind of in my head thought it may have been an audible at the last point. Maybe Cody was supposed to be 17.
Yeah.
And then he just couldn't go. So they were like, all right, we're going to say it's Ray. He didn't come out because Dom was right after him.
Yeah.
At 18, right? So maybe that was the audible they had set in place in case Cody couldn't go at 17 and had to come in at 30.
Yeah.
And then he popped his eardrum on top of that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he popped his eardrum. He put it on a tweet last night. He popped his eardrum.
Oh,
Wow.
So we got a one-eared guy going for the championship belt against Roman Reigns. Okay.
But Gunther was awesome. For him to Iron Man it out, I thought was really cool. It was interesting to see the distinction of number 1 versus number 30 as the last two, which will contrast what we see at the end or with the women's. So I thought that was kind of cool. I was surprised there was a lack of surprise entrances. I thought Matt Cardona would come out. But overall, I think it was a pretty solid Rumble.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get to our second match of the night.
Alex Haney says
Ray was booked to confront Dom, but got injured against Cross. I figured that was the reason why, was the injury that he suffered against Karrion Kross. So our second match of the night is Bray versus LA Knight in the pitch black match. Now, we were wondering, what in the hell is a pitch black match besides just a way to shill Mountain Dew's newest flavor, which is pitch black? Anything goes, and it's under black lights. It was pretty freaking awesome. You can follow LA Knight because his trunks and his elbow pads shine in neon yellow. You could see Bray Wyatt. He had face paint all over his face. He had the red eyes, which I thought was really cool. I like this version of Bray over any version of Bray in any of his other gimmicks, including The Fiend. I really like this version. I think this is a more authentic, dark version of Bray Wyatt than what we got with Bray and what we got with The Fiend. The announce table bump with the glow glitter was pretty awesome. I love seeing it just fly everywhere. The match was way too short. I understand you have two big rumbles that are going to last about an hour, and you have to kind of keep things moving. But this match, as the return of Bray Wyatt, should have been about 10 minutes longer, and it wasn't. It ended way too soon. After the bell, he starts chasing LA Knight. He puts a mandible claw on him, lays him down on a platform. And here comes Uncle Howdy and does a flying elbow drop like Macho Man. Through it, fire bursts everywhere, and that's how we switch from Bray Wyatt to our third match. So, Dr. Brad, your thoughts on the Bray Wyatt LA Knight Pitch Black, brought to you by Mountain Dew Pitch Black? match.
Well, first of all, let me start out by saying
Mountain Dew.
I'm hoping that at SummerSlam we get the Mountain Dew Baja Blast match. Um,
Yes.
so, I had a lot of concerns going into this because of the atrocity that was the House of Horrors match some years back.
Yeah.
Um, I gotta say, I loved it. I thought it was so entertaining, and honestly, Bray looked amazing. Just with the lights coming down, you see all the artwork he had on his face. I mean, um, I feel like he took some inspiration from Undertaker. I think also Alec Haney. I have to agree. I think he's a massive DC Batman fan, which I am as well. Huge DC fan, by the way. Um, the action was great. They told a story in the ring. Uh, Bray Wyatt's no slouch. I mean, he's known for his psychology and his character creativity, his promos, but that's going to be one of the better matches I've seen from Bray Wyatt. And like you said, JBF, I wanted more of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it should have just been 5-10 minutes.
You got him.
He called me JBF.
JFB. Sorry.
It's
I think
all
it's JB. I think it's JBL. We're talking WWE here. I'm allowed a couple of those.
Rich, what did you think of the pitch black match with Bray Wyatt and LA Knight?
I was very pleasantly surprised about how much I enjoyed this match, and in particular, how much I enjoyed Bray Wyatt's entrance, because it was very reminiscent of Undertaker at SummerSlam '94 for me.
Oh yeah.
So I think, like Dr. Brad, I feel like this was very heavily inspired by Undertaker. Even his outfit, I feel, was heavily inspired. And this, like, once again, as someone who hasn't watched any WWE in 20 years, really, as an outside perspective, I think this very much was coming from The Undertaker. It was really cool. I was watching it with my son, and he kind of got a little freaked out. And it was the first time he's actually experienced that in wrestling. And so I'm like, oh, man, you got to remember when I was a kid, I had Undertaker. And so after everything, we kind of paused it, and I showed him some old Undertaker entrances from the 90s and the 2000s. And it was a really good bonding moment for us. So I really appreciated that on a father-son level, being able to kind of, because Undertaker is my favorite wrestler of all time. Yeah. So to be able to put it to the next generation and get that fear, those goosebumps that come when you hear that music and you see that lighting, it was awesome for me. I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah. It had a lot of nostalgia for me. I thought Bray looked fantastic. He had fangs in too, which I thought was really cool. Yep. And does he normally use the mandible claw for a finisher?
That and Sister Abigail is his two finishers.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I knew about Sister Abigail, but I didn't know about the mandible claw. So it gave me Mankind vibes, like when he first debuted and like Buried Alive and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was pretty cool.
Alex Haney's asked, do you think Naomi would be even more pissed that they did that match all that glow? No, I don't think so, Mr. Haney. Okay, next question. Canada Dry, what are your thoughts on the pitch black match between Bray and LA Knight?
My one complaint is I love when they hit the table or whatever the heck it was, and then all that goo and all of that was really cool. Yeah. I love that the kendo stick was glowing. I love the glow in this. This was a really cool thing that they did, but again, so you can't do this again. It's a one-time thing. The one thing that was like Uncle Howdy with the dive, but he missed on purpose. I guess they thought that it was too risky. Yeah. So they had a miss, and then LA Knight rolled over because they did the angle. I wonder if there was another way they could have done that. It looked cheap. Like, even from the angle they're doing, I was like, did he even hit him? It didn't look like it. The angle they even did it. Yeah, they could have maybe him throw him to the floor and then have him some sort of pad hidden down there. I don't know. I think they could have maybe come up with something that was more realistic.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get to our third match of the night. That is, of course, for the Raw Women's Championship. We're talking Alexa Bliss versus Bianca Belair. I'm going to go over really quickly with my notes. Starts really intense with a fist fight. I love that nasty streak in Alexa Bliss. I think her nasty streak plays her well. I do not like her as a babyface. I've always liked her as a heel. Bliss controlling the match early, I think, was much needed. The champion looked frustrated because of it. Great back and forth. And again, here we go. Another quick match. This is a match that should have lasted another 5-7 minutes, and it just didn't. And again, because you have the 2 Royal Rumbles, that's going to monopolize the majority of the time. And you want to give enough time for the main event as well. So, let's go with Rich Southwood. What are your thoughts on Alexa Bliss taking the loss to Bianca Belair?
I figured that would probably happen, not knowing much looking in, but I think it was a decent match. It was kind of short, I thought, for Raw's Women's Championship match. I thought it probably could have standed to go a little bit longer, but I thought the match was serviceable. I didn't think anything was special about it.
Yeah. Okay. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
I want to know, are you hopped up on sugar donuts, Rich Southwood? Because you're like talking really fast, like a Excalibur or something.
Oh, no, that's just me all the time.
It's like, hey, I want to.
Pretty much.
I think that, this match, they could even eyeboshed it, have them enter the Rumble. I maybe even like they could have combined this with the Pitch Black match and have some sort of more story come out for Alexa Bliss. Really just been on SmackDown, or Raw. Like, it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah. Dr. Brad, Farm D, what did you think?
Honestly, it was just kind of a throwaway for me. It just kind of felt like, well, we have to have a women's match, so let's just get the Raw Women's title, and we don't even get the SmackDown Women's title on the show, which I was wondering, well, why wasn't this on here if they can get the Raw Women's Championship defended from Bianca against Alexa? I mean, it had a good start, but honestly, I kind of felt like it was very abrupt, not a lot of storytelling. So I was just kind of left wondering, did we even really need this? The aftermath of the match, when Alexa's in the ring and you see, all the video package where you got Uncle Howdy in the background, you see previous clips of Alexa where she's kind of seduced by Bray Wyatt, so to say. That was cool.
Yeah,
that piqued my interest, but yeah. Also, a couple quick things. Undertaker is my number 2 of all time. So, Rich, I'm also a huge Undertaker fan. Agree with everything you said. The entrance did remind me of Old School Taker. Also, for all you people commenting, whoever's got the Sailor Moon icons, you're our new favorites. I just finished season 2.
That is awesome. All right. Let's go to our Women's Royal Rumble match. This is match number 4 in the card. So I'm going to go over it like I did with the men really quickly. Number 1 was Rhea Ripley. Number 2 was Liv Morgan. Dana Brooke came in at number 3. Emma, number 4. Shayna Baszler at number 5. Bailey came in at number 6. She did not have sandwich pants on. I know, Canada Dry, take a quick nap. We had BFAB number 7. Roxanne Perez came in at number 8. Dakota Kai number 9. Io Sky number 10. Number 11 was Natalia. Number 12 was Candice LeRae. 13 Zoe Stark. 14 Xia Li. 15 Becky Lynch. Number 16 Tegan Knox. 17 Asuka. 18 Piper Niven. No longer known as Dewdrop. It's Piper Niven. Okay, we have to be really quiet because Canada Dry's taking a nap. So we're going to go through this really quick. Number 19, Tamina Snuka. 20, Chelsea Green. Number 21, Zelina Vega. Raquel Rodriguez. Mia Yim. Lacey Evans. Michelle McCool got called in from the stands at number 25, Indy Hartwell, Sonya Deville, Shotzi, Nikki Cross, and number 30 was, of course, Nia Jax, who I don't know if this is a full-time return or not, but here are my notes really quickly from that match. Great superplex in the very early start with Dana Brooke. I love Dana Brooke. That girl can go.
Yeah.
She's got a motor in her like there's no tomorrow.
Mhm.
I liked Shayna Baszler's ring gear. Reminded me a little bit of like Legacy, the Legend of Zelda. It had that little cool effect to it. Roxanne Perez, if you were wondering whether or not she's ready for the main roster, last night proved she is definitely ready for the main roster. I expect a very short run as NXT Women's Champion. I think she's going to be in the main roster by no later than WrestleMania. I think she's ready to go right now. Becky taking out the majority of Damage Control was awesome. Asuka kind of going back to her Japanese route, I thought was really effective. Love seeing Chelsea Green back and Michelle McCool being called out of the stadium, out of the stands, like she's a third goalie for an NHL team. And for those who don't know, me and Canada Drive, we're huge hockey nuts. You have two goaltenders on your roster, but in the case that both of them get injured, there's usually another goalie, a third goalie in the stands watching the game and can go downstairs and get ready to play. This girl came out and she eliminated two people. So Canada Dry, you go first. Your thoughts on the Women's Royal Rumble?
Because I also loved the Asuka face paint. I think this is the best Asuka face paint we've ever seen.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this was the most boring women's Rumble of all time.
Okay.
I was like, oh my goodness, this is so for what it is. I like, but this was bad. It felt very. I'm sorry, but this is to me the worst women's Royal Rumble ever. And the reason I had it was because I wanted to do that so bad during the actual women's Rumble, but I had to watch it to talk about it on the show. So I did it today. I had a quick little power nap. I'm recharged. I'm ready to go. So let's do this thing.
Okay. Dr. Brad Campbell, diagnose the fourth match of the night.
Well, the diagnosis is it had a bad case of just coming right out of the gate, and then it just dragged. I mean, it was it had cool moments. Asuka with the going back to her roots, that was cool. Seeing Chelsea Green come back, that was awesome. Michelle McCool coming from the from the crowd, that was kind of different. So I kind of feel like, unlike the men's Rumble, this had a little bit more surprises to provide. But on the flip side of this, the men's Rumble delivered in a wrestling aspect. There was a lot of great action to see. The women's Rumble was very basic.
Yeah.
So that being said, because of how it was presented, it went on way too long for my taste.
Yeah, absolutely. Lord Rich Southwood, your thoughts on the number 4 match of the night, the Women's Royal Rumble?
I don't know what these marks were watching, but I watched an awesome Women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I thought it was better than the men's. Me and my son both thought it was more entertaining, and we had a better time watching the women than we did the men. There were more surprises. I don't know. Like I said, I really enjoyed the men's match, but for some reason, I just found it to be more entertaining.
Yeah.
I can't even give you specific examples. All I can tell you is the feeling that I got when I was done watching it.
Yeah.
And while I was watching it, the whole story, like with Rhea Ripley the whole time, was awesome. ending it up with her and Liv as the last two, 1 and 2 as well, I thought was really cool. I really dug it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was good. Rhea lasted over an hour. She is the Royal Rumble winner. She will be going against either Charlotte Flair or Bianca Belair for the women's championship title, depending on where she decides to go. I liked the call on Ripley. I was a little surprised. Go ahead, Canada Dry.
Let me say this: the only Rhea that has ever lasted an hour.
I don't know. I had colonoscopy prep the other day, dude, and my diarrhea lasted way more than an hour. There's your joke of the week, JFB.
Hey, Canada Dry, we're marks.
I had to throw it out there.
We are.
We're marks for all the right things, like, you know, our boy the Hitman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
See, that's the funny thing too. I was never a Sean or a Hitman guy. I liked them both. I was always a Taker guy. So like when they get in these feuds between Sean and Brett, I'm like, I like them all.
Yeah. What are you gonna say, Canada Dry?
I just feel like me and Dr. Brad Campbell are on the same wavelength with DC Comics, Bret Hart. Like we're both Christian as fuck. We're supposed to say that on the show.
Speaking of being Christian AF, I have a mug I got from the Creation Museum of Noah's Ark that changes color. So I'm representing my Christian AF attitude today on another effing podcast.
Nice.
All right, let's get to
our old name. We're all effing wrestling show.
So let's go to our final match. It is, of course, the main event. We are dealing with Kevin Owens, KO fight versus the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Roman Reigns of the Bloodline. Here's some of my notes. Great build-up. Such a great buildup of intensity, even before the bell rang. You could tell that these two guys did not like each other in the ring. Great creation of drama as they start sizing each other up. Some people said it was boring. I liked it. I liked them walking around, sizing each other up, trying to figure out what's the quickest way, what's the best way to get into it. So I like that it took that time, and it took that time to tell that story. KO was getting the jump on Roman Reigns very early in the match, which needed to happen. He needed to dictate the pace and the punishment. Sammy is doing an amazing job selling outside of the ring. Awesome near falls all through the match. The Bloodline beatdown of KO. For those who don't know, KO lost. Roman Reigns is still your champion. But the beatdown that they gave KO was horrendous. It made me ill because they handcuffed him to the ropes. They took shot after shot after shot. Roman said, finish the job. Sammy grabs the chair and he finishes the job. His job being, of course, the honorary use, because he turns on Roman Reigns and hits him in the back with a chair. Love Sammy turning on Roman Reigns in the Bloodline. I thought it was the right time. If they went any longer with this bullshit, I would have rioted. It had to have happened at Royal Rumble, and it was perfectly executed. The big surprise, though, was that Jey Uso turned his back on the Bloodline. This should make it interesting because Jey was the one who didn't like Sami Zayn and was convinced that Sami Zayn was was there for the wrong reasons, and he turned his back on his brother and his two brothers and turned his back on Roman Reigns. An absolutely freaking amazing match. Dr. Brad, lay it on. Give us a prescription for match number 5.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know the same thing as Alex Haney. How did he protect his neck on those step shots?
It's called neck exercises.
All right. So a prescription for a main event match at a pay-per-view at the caliber of the Royal Rumble is you have to start first off with great storytelling. you have to take a believable opponent that looks like they could take on the champion that is a heel that could give a great physical, aggressive match. Now, the only negative thing I'm going to say is that the end result was predictable AF.
Yeah.
That being said, Roman and KO delivered. They put on a great match. They did what they needed to do in the ring to keep fans invested. The aftermath after the match, best storytelling we had the entire pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That was a special moment.
Yeah.
Moments like that show that when WWE gets things right,
Yeah.
they hit a home run.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rich Southwood, you're before we go, how he protected his neck.
Yeah.
You buy this contraption and you put free weights on it and you lift your head up and down and you build that neck muscle. And then when you take a bump like that, usually you can take it pretty well. But he landed back first and then came backwards. But yeah, when you have a nice thick neck like Kevin Owens does, you can stop a bullet with that sucker. You can literally stop a bullet, about bing, right off of it. Rich Southwood, what are your thoughts on the main event?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good match. As someone who doesn't watch, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the lead up that they showed to there. It painted the picture. It told the story well. I guess my only complaint, and like I said, I don't watch Roman Reigns matches, but does he have to hit his finisher 17 times every match to win?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't like it when finishers aren't protected like that, especially when he's your undisputed champion of both brands.
Yeah.
I think that makes him look weak.
Yeah.
In my opinion, as an outsider. But outside of that, the match was awesome. You could see the torment in Sami Zayn's eyes the entire match.
Yeah.
And just the way, like you said, he was selling it, just the sudden body movements every time something would happen was just gold. It was amazing. The way it ended was cool. The way Jay walked out, I thought was very interesting. It should lead to a really good programming on WWE this week, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to leave the man for last, the man who can encapsulate the best about this match. And that, of course, is my brother in arms, Canada Dry. Wax poetic about that. Yeah, you. Wax poetic about that last match.
Oh, wow. This is obvious to me that Paul Heyman is heavily all creatively in this whole Sami Zayn Roman Reigns storyline. To me, it's like a whole different promotion from the rest of the show. If you can get the rest of the show on this level, I hate to say it, but I become a WWE mark.
Yeah.
Because it's on this level that, like AEW, they would have to raise the sales too. And because this is this Hollywood story level time, right?
Yeah.
I can't think of the last time we even had something like this in WWE. It's
years.
So beautiful with the torn Sami Zayn, just the way they beat the crowd while Sami Zayn watched, and the anguish that he was able to do, and you pull the trigger. It's like something from a movie. The whole crowd just hated Roman Reigns. It's like the crowd's yelling, F you, Roman, F you, Roman.
Yeah.
I felt that hate for him too. I'm like, you son of a, it was beautiful, anguish and insult. So I'm very happy, that pretty much saved the Rumble, because to me, Cody and this, are what makes it amazing for the show. Could we see Roman lose both his belts at WrestleMania?
Absolutely.
One Sami Zayn,
think-
one Dakota.
I think it's feasible. Absolutely. I think it's feasible. I think it's very easy to see Roman Reigns walk out of WrestleMania with no belts at all. So that's our show. And I'm going to throw in a little curveball here because, like Dynamite After Dark, when we recap this week's episode of Dynamite, we always talk about the number of bells from 1 to 5 and our favorite match of the night. And so that's what I'm going to do. Dr. Brad, you go first. Favorite match of the night, and out of 5 bells, how many bells would you give?
I'm gonna go with the men's Royal Rumble match.
Okay.
And I will give it 4.5 bells.
Okay. Rich Southwood.
I'm going to go the Pitch Black match just because of the nostalgia it gave me, and I will give it 4 bells.
Okay. Canada Dry, you go next. Favorite match and number of bells.
I'm going to give this 3 bells out of 5. And Roman Reigns and what the hell is his name?
Kevin Owens.
Very hard on his. Anyways, Roman Reigns match to me. Yeah, Kevin Owens. Yes, is the match of the night. You can't even touch it. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 4 bells. I was really surprised. The matches between the big rumbles were the ones that really caught me off guard. If they were a little bit longer, 5, 7, 10 minutes, I would give it that. I'd give it an extra bell. My favorite match was the main event of the pay-per-view. WWE suffers from long-term storytelling. This was the best long-term storytelling they've done in years, and I mean literally years. So I'm going to give it 4 bells. My favorite match was the main event. But Alex Haney's thing back up really quickly. He had a question that he asked us. I want to read it so I can. Question for everybody: Sammy and Jay defended the title. They're going to split the titles with the Usos and Sammy and Jay. I mean, that's very possible. I could see that very much happening. Rich, what do you think?
Anything's possible at this point, especially with Jay walking out. It's interesting to see where it's going to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Brad?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's possible. I'm thinking though, we're gonna what I've seen a lot of opinions are going around is that we're gonna possibly see KO and Sammy taking on the Usos at Mania for the titles.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Canada Dry.
They kind of wrote themselves into a bit of a corner here because technically, Sami Zayn is a Freebird Rules Tag Team Champion right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he defended the belts.
Yep.
So they kind of wrote themselves into a corner that they're going to just have to ignore even happened.
Yes.
As soon as you defend that tag team belt, you are Freebird's champion.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I think they'll just kind of ignore it. It would be cool to see Jay go out on his own, actually, and be his own man.
Yeah.
I think that would be a cool way to go.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see the Usos kind of separate for a little bit and eventually remerge together. So, well, that's our show, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. You sat through our review of the 35th edition of WWE's Royal Rumble. Now we get to tell you all the good stuff. Like, how do you get in contact with us? Well, it's easy. You can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/FN Wrestling, scroll, and on there is all our social media. But there's a social media link that's not on our YouTube page, and that is for our prediction league. It's called AFW, All FN Wrestling. You can be a champion. You can cut promos. All you have to do is predict the outcomes of AEW, Dynamite, and Rampage matches. How do you get there? Very easy. FNWrestling.com. And then go all the way to the bottom. See the Touch Brothers wearing our shirts? A little bit lower than that, right there. All our social media links are right there. You click, you can join. We have two of the most amazing general managers. Dallas runs our Mayhem. Bree Mode runs the Wreckage program. They do an amazing job. They bust their butts. It's the number one greatest prediction league in all of Prediction League Wrestling, according to Prediction League Monthly, which I have a current subscription to. And so go there. If you like t-shirts and you want to support our podcast, here's how you do it. ProWrestlingTees.com/effing wrestling, where you can get the all effing wrestling shirt. That's the one I'm talking about. She's way better looking than me, that's for sure. She is the face of effing wrestling. She is wearing our shirt. You can get the middle finger. You can get a Canada Dry shirt. You can get a whole plethora of shirts. Hell, if you want to, we'll make a shirt for you, and then you can buy a shirt. All you have to do is go to ProWrestlingTees.com/effing wrestling. If you do love old school wrestling, we are huge marks for Adrian Adonis. We run his Pro Wrestling Tee store. Yeah, both of us, me and you. You can go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Adrian Adonis, where you can get your adorable Adrian Adonis t-shirt. It's a great way to keep his memory alive. He's been gone for us for a lot of years, but it's a great way to keep his memory alive and what he's contributed to wrestling. So all that, just go to our website, go to ProWrestlingTees.com. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So on behalf of Canada Dry, on behalf of Dr. Brad, on behalf of Lord Rich Southwood, I am the JFB.
And remember to just keep fighting.
Ding, ding, ding. This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at ProWrestlingTees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it. Dem boys!